Coming up right now in Marlborough this week, the city's mayoral primary took place on Tuesday. We have your results, plus we spoke with your top 2 candidates. In addition to the mayoral race, we'll let you know the final candidates for the 2011 municipal election. Plus, a neighborhood meeting in Ward 2 took place this week. Stay tuned to find out why. And coming up later in this half hour, the Marlborough Board of Health wants you to stay well this winter. A citywide flu clinic will take place this month. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with Tuesday's primary results. Our cameras joined City Clerk Lisa Thomas before the polls closed on Tuesday night to get an inside look at what happens during an election night.
I have the spreadsheet ready to go. At this point in time, I'm going to simply mark it unofficial, the label, so that when I do post it, folks know that it is subject to change.
Our cameras joined City Clerk Lisa Thomas at 7:15 on Tuesday night to see what happens at City Hall when the polls close. The City Clerk's office had a long day as voters voiced their choice regarding the city's mayoral candidates. Arthur Vigent, Matthew Jones, and Jim Mosso were the candidates on this year's primary ballot.
We're waiting for the polls to close at 8, and I've got to give time for my wardens to reconcile their numbers, take a look at the tape, and the wardens also have to declare the numbers at each of the polling locations very loudly and distinctly so that observers can hear those numbers.
As the clock ticked closer to 8 p.m., Thomas prepared for the return of her polling location wardens and the information they carried.
They'll just simply come to my office and we record the time that they enter into my office so that we can wait on the wardens in accordance to the time in which they came in.
Shortly after 8 p.m., wardens started to arrive. Claire Lucier then began clearly stating results precinct by precinct.
Jones 78, Mosso 10, Vigent 50, Write-in 0, total 41.
By 8:45, Thomas had the mayoral primary results.
Blanks 17, Matthew Jones 1031, James Mosso 78, Arthur Vigent 1188, Write-in 1. There were a total of 2,315 voters.
Only 11.4% of the city's 20,364 voters made their way to the polls for Tuesday's primary.
For me, it's very disappointing. This was a mayoral race, and I thought that more folks would come out. Historically speaking, preliminary elections obviously do not garner the same population of voters as do general elections, but given the type of race, I would have liked to seen it be closer to 20 to 25%, but we did get a total of 11.37%.
We spoke with both candidates this week to get their reaction to the results and talk about strategies moving forward. Arthur Vigent tallied 1,188 votes, or 51.3%, and Matthew Jones finished with 1,031 votes, which was 44.5% of the 2,315 votes casted.
We had a good win, and it was rainy and drizzly and miserable, and we expected a low turnout, and when there's a low turnout, anything can happen, but we're happy and we're looking forward to moving forward for the next 26 days.
I want to say thank you to all of my supporters. They did a great job and they're continuing to do a great job. I want to let them know that we don't know if this is a representative sample, so we really do have to continue the hard work, get the word out, and continue to push through till November 1st.
Jones and Vigent also praised Mosso for his hard work on his campaign.
I applaud Jim for being part of the process. We've worked together and actually sat down a couple times during the campaign to talk about information he was looking for. And he actually came through the budget process, trying to learn the way it's done, and it's important to know what you're talking about when you're moving these statements and questions forward. So he really wanted to learn how it was done. I provided some information for him through the budget process, and I applaud him and wish him well in the future.
James Mosso ran a very honorable campaign. I think he did a great job of raising key issues, and he deserves a lot of credit for the hard work that he did.
Both candidates are looking forward to the last month of campaigning and continuing to meet with residents.
We're going to keep doing the things we've been doing. I've been knocking on doors for the last couple days, and I'm going to continue doing that for the rest of October and getting our message out that I have the experience, I have the dedication and commitment to the city, and I have a vision for keeping things on the right track and making this city an even better place to raise your children, improving the school system, paying for that through increased revenue from the industrial park, and doing some of the projects that we have in the city, the Memorial Beach project and the old landfill site, and of course the senior center.
My message has resonated with voters, and so there's really nothing to adjust there. It's really about going out there and speaking to the voters, going door to door, going to meet the candidate events, and just talking to people. That's what it's really about, word of mouth and talking to the people.
Vigent and Jones will be joined by Councilor-at-Large candidates, ward candidates, and those running for the school committee. Here are your candidates for this year's municipal election. Matthew Jones and Arthur Vigent are running for mayor. Michael Ossing, Patricia Pope, Paul Broder, Joseph Collins, Mark Evangelis, Aaron Ferrecchia, Mark Oram, and Kathleen Roby are running for Councilor-at-Large. Joseph Delano is running for Ward 1. Paul Farrow and Richard Jenkins are running for Ward 2. Matt Elder and George Stein are running for Ward 3. Robert Tenera is running for Ward 4. Robert Seymour is running for Ward 5. Edward Clancy is running for Ward 6. Don Landers and Todd Boschman are running for Ward 7. Margaret Dwyer, Catherine Hennessy, and Heidi Matthews are running for Marlborough School Committee. And Joseph Valeriati is running for Assabet Valley School Committee. The Finance Committee met before the City Council meeting on Monday night and recommended an inter-department transfer for Fire Department overtime of $79,329, but did so with questions for the acting Fire Chief. Council members questioned Fire Chief Fred Flynn why the department continues to struggle with overtime costs. Flynn told councilors between retirements and injuries, the department is short 10 positions. Since the beginning of the fiscal year in July, the department has requested 4 transfers to cover overtime costs. The total transfers, all of which came from within the fire department's budget, add up to $133,000. This is in addition to the $150,000 originally set aside in the fiscal 2012 budget for overtime. Ward 2 City Councilor Paul Farrow hosted a neighborhood meeting this week to discuss the helicopter school-based program at Marlborough Airport. This training that takes place for 40 hours each month is disturbing the peace around the airport. Around 40 neighbors of Marlborough Airport came together Wednesday night to discuss ways to keep the noise down from helicopter training at the airport. Last fall, North Andover Flight Academy opened up a satellite location at the airport, aiming to perform 40 hours of helicopter flight training per month. Almost half of that training consists of exercises just a few feet off the ground, and that is what neighbors say is the problem.
We're very concerned about the sound, the levels of the sound, and how long it's going on as these helicopters are just going up and down just a few feet from the ground and just hovering there. I understand they need to train, and that's the problem here, but the whole area, it's a very old airport. The whole area has been built up with housing all around it, and the meeting this evening, there were 40 people here from all around the airport, all complaining about the same things.
Code Enforcement Officer Pam Wilderman stated to us that the city has limited options in solving this problem.
It's not that we don't care, it's not that we don't commiserate with people, but I have a responsibility as an enforcement officer not to involve the city into something that could end up being litigious, that we could get into a court argument over. Because when we talk about the city The city isn't a separate entity, it's the taxpayers.
Wilderman said she could take basic sound readings, but said the FAA would probably want more detailed information.
While we're willing to make the phone calls, and we certainly have, and we're willing to sort of brainstorm, as we did this evening, to get some suggestions and work with the neighbors and work with the proponent. At the end of the day, the sad fact of the matter is that this is an allowed use. It has been an allowed use for a number of years, and we have to just figure out a way to make everybody live comfortably together.
Marlborough Airport owner Bob Stetson says that although the airport is privately owned, it is a public use airport, and he could face sanctions if he told the Flight Academy it could not land at the site.
As a public use airport, I cannot turn them away. Public use means public use, and we've been told that on a number of circumstances, and I don't intend to challenge that.
Stetson said he would talk to North Andover Flight Academy to convey the concerns of neighboring residents. He also said he would talk to officials from the FAA and the Massachusetts Aeronautics Commission about the possibility of finding an isolated spot to conduct the noisier parts of the training.
We would have to find an area that would be approved for that use. It would have to be an approved helicopter operating facility. It would have to be approved by the city. It would have to, any neighbors to that property, probably within a 2-mile radius, would have to sign on to it.
Although a compromise was not addressed at Wednesday night's meeting, it definitely got the conversation started.
Something needs to be looked into in terms of noise abatement or procedure abatement or some other place to actually do the hovering part of the training. Remains to be seen how that will come down, but I think we got a good start.
Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, we have details about the Early Childhood Center's involvement with the national campaign. But first, an inside look at the district's new early college high school program. That story's next. Please stay with us.
And now a few Halloween survival tips from WMCT. Tip number 57, remember to wear your seatbelt. Tip number 32, respect your elders. Tip number 77, always dispose of haunted skeletons properly. And finally, tip number 1, lock yourself indoors and watch WMCT's Movie House of Horrors Marathon. We're bringing you the creepy classics as well as the eerily awful. Catch all the horror October 22nd and October 29th at 7 p.m. only on WMCT-TV.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. The school district's new science, technology, engineering, and math program for 6th and 9th graders is in full swing at the Whitcomb Middle School and the Marlborough High School. We spoke with Bill Rigney, the STEM instructional specialist, to learn how this program will affect our students.
When they go from their English class to their history class and math class, that they can say, oh, yeah, that's right too. We just talked about that in the other class.
Marlborough Public Schools adopted the early college model with a STEM focus because of a statewide declining student interest in science, technology, engineering, and math-related careers.
Teach these kids some of these 21st century skills that we hear so much about in education, of collaboration and creativity and critical thinking, communication. So that's an integral part of our program as well. There's going to be a lot of projects where they're going to work together. They're going to be asking their questions, and they're going to have to answer them themselves. as opposed to the easy out of the teacher always providing the answer.
The focus will encourage students to take on the challenges and rewards of a STEM-related higher education degree.
The big difference in this program really is the approach that the students have going into their curriculum. In the past, as you probably went through school, you went from your math class to your history class to your English class, and there wasn't a true connection. What we're trying to do with this program is really show connections between the different disciplines.
A feature of Marlborough's STEM initiative is the one-on-one technology. Each STEM student will be provided with a small laptop computer to use for research, lessons, online collaboration, and more.
What we're trying to do there again is to give the students what they would have in their workforce, or now even in a college experience where students have to come to college with a laptop. So it's teaching them the proper computer literacy. You know, how do you search? How do you research? What's a good site? What's a bad site?
The STEM program opened this fall with 6th and 9th graders and will expand 2 grades each year until full enrollment in 2014 to 2016.
The jobs that are available in especially Massachusetts, they can't fill the positions, a lot of these companies, because they don't have qualified workers. So we worry about people going outside of the country to hire workers, but then again, we don't always have that workforce ready for these new 21st century jobs.
The Marlborough Public School District is one of only 6 school districts in Massachusetts to have been awarded Race to the Top funding to implement this innovative STEM model.
It's going to be a real learning experience in that the kids not only pick up content knowledge, they're going to pick up a tremendous amount of skill and how to go about solving a problem.
For more information about Marlborough's STEM program, please visit the district's website at mps-edu.org. Each year, the Read for the Record campaign brings millions of adults and children together in schools, libraries, and community centers to set a new world record for the largest shared reading experience. An activity took place on Thursday at the Early Childhood Center.
What's really special today is that there are boys and girls all around the world, about 6 million boys and girls around the world today, who are also reading this story.
On Thursday, Marlborough Early Childhood Center preschoolers participated in Read for the Record Day. Classes met in the school committee room at the District Education Center located at 17 Washington Street and participated in reading an online book on a large screen.
What I love about this event is that the children are excited about reading books together and that they have an opportunity to share reading on a big projector, on a screen, and that's so exciting for them. It's new and exciting and a little different than just the book.
This year's Read for the Record book is Llama Llama Red Pajama.
The children have been so excited. They love this baby llama is such an endearing character, and they love reading about how baby llama really doesn't want to be left alone after he gets tucked in at night. I think they can really relate to that story. So the PK3 children, who are 3 years before kindergarten, loved the story, and the PK2 children, who are 2 years before kindergarten, have loved the story, and we're having PK1 come very shortly, and their kids who are just 1 year before kindergarten. So for all of that range, from 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, they've loved the story.
The activity is part of Jumpstart's Read for the Record campaign. Each year, Read for the Record brings millions of adults and children together in schools, libraries, and community centers to set a new world record for the largest shared reading experience.
Sharing the love of reading with children is vitally important to especially preschool children, but all children, because it starts to nurture the love of language, and there's a lot of alliteration in this book, a lot of rhyming scheme, and that helps them just enjoy the fun of language and books. And we want to nurture that early to help them become more proficient readers as they grow and develop.
The Read for the Record activity complements the MECC's 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, a pre-literacy effort aimed at encouraging families to read at least 1,000 books to their preschoolers before they enter kindergarten. The 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program is in its 2nd year at the MECC.
We invite all children to take out book bags that each have 10 books in them. All of the books are different genre, so children are getting exposed to nonfiction, fiction, poetry, songbooks, search and find, all different kinds of books to show that books can be really fun and interactive. And the families take out a book bag instead of just one book, And every week they gather new books, read more books. Sometimes they come back every day. They've read 10 books in the afternoon and they come back for the next set. And we have our first kindergartner who just went to kindergarten this year is just about done with his 1,000 books. So we're very excited for when he has to get his big prize for winning. But it's an exciting way for families to enjoy literacy and rich language experiences together.
Coming up, a citywide flu clinic will be held this month. We have the details, plus we'll have your pet of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. A citywide flu clinic will be held Saturday, October 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Kane Elementary School located at 520 Farm Road. Any Marlborough resident ages 2 and older are eligible to come. Children younger than 18 years of age must be accompanied by an adult. Please bring your insurance cards, and senior citizens must bring Medicare B cards. For more information, please contact the Board of Health at 508-460-3751 or visit marlborough-ma.gov.
Today we have Drake, and Drake is a 1.5-year-old purebred Cocker Spaniel. He's cute as a button, but he does have his little quirks. He'd do best in an adult-only home. Even though he did live with children, I believe he spent most of his time either in the garage or the basement. He's not socialized, so he's going to need a lot of work, training. He doesn't need somebody to feel sorry for him. He needs somebody to help him feel good about himself. If you're a Cocker Spaniel person, you're familiar with the breed, you might want to check in on Drake. For the right family, he's going to make a great pet. So please feel free to call us about him or any of the other pets here at Buddy Dog. The number is 978-443-6990. The Haunted House Food Drive that collects non-perishable food items for the food pantry started up again last weekend. The Haunted House takes place at 61 O'Grady Road in Marlborough from 6 to 10 p.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night during the month of October. All are welcome to attend, and don't forget your item for our food pantry. And before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now in Marlborough This Week, our local Chamber of Commerce held a forum for our mayoral candidates. Superintendent Anthony Pope walked the school committee through a 5-year strategic plan. Plus, the Marlborough chapter of MoveOn.org are set to protest, and coming up later in this half hour, residents and city employees are encouraged to paint the city pink on Monday. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's forum for our mayoral candidates. City Council President Arthur Vigent is running against attorney Matthew Jones to succeed Mayor Nancy Stevens, who's not seeking re-election. Sponsored by Employment Options in the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce, about 25 people attended the breakfast forum. Vigent, who has served on the City Council for 18 years and 9 years as its president, frequently touched upon public service accomplishments and stated that he would continue to move the city forward if elected.
Jones, a first-time candidate for elected office, said some of his top priorities are schools, services for seniors, and public services. Jones stated if elected, he will build coalitions to effectively address problems facing the city. The questions for the candidates were attained by the people who attended the breakfast forum. The forum lasted around 50 minutes. Here are the candidates' closing statements.
This year, when we choose our next mayor, you have only one choice that has relevant experience, a proven track record of achieving results for our city and decades of community involvement. For nearly half my life, I have been listening to the concerns of city residents and business owners and producing results. I already have the business relationships, knowledge of our city and its finances, and a track record to provide the necessary leadership from my first day as mayor. I am excited for the next opportunity. Recently, I entered into informal discussions with the owner of the West Meeting House property at 86 Pleasant Street. This 12,000 square foot building is an ideal location for our new senior center. The historic building is ideally located and will allow us to offer programs and services that we are not currently able to offer due to space limitations. I plan on continuing negotiating with the owner of this property and forwarding an order to the mayor to make sure that we have this property secured to move forward. This is something that we can put in place for a fraction of the cost of a new building, and the timeline will be within a year to be open and available for the city seniors.
The way I see it, local government must be responsive to the people. My priorities, if elected, are number one, child protection and public safety. That means police, fire, Department of Public Works services, improving the public schools, increasing services for our seniors, including a new senior center, and promoting growth in the local economy. I encourage you to look at what I've written about these topics at my website. It's electmattjones.com. My experience as an auditor for PricewaterhouseCoopers has given me excellent financial background. Further, my experiences in law school and as a practicing attorney, as well as my experience as a school teacher, will serve me equally well if elected mayor. The choice this year is between a career politician who, from my perspective, has lost touch with the voters and a fresh new face. If you want a fresh new face who's capable of building coalitions and working well with department heads, school committee members, and business leaders, then I am your candidate. The time has come for positive change in Marlborough, and I'm the right man for the job. That's why I'm asking for your vote on November 1st. My name is Matthew Jones. I'm running for mayor of Marlborough.
If you would like to see the program in its entirety, you can. Please visit our website at WMCT-TV.com for playtimes. Vigent and Jones will be joined by councilor large candidates, ward candidates, and those running for the school committee. Here are your candidates for this year's municipal election. Matthew Jones and Arthur Vigent are running for mayor. Michael Ossing, Patricia Pope, Paul Broder, Joseph Collins, Mark Evangelis, Aaron Ferrecchia, Mark Oram, and Kathleen Roby are running for councilor at large. Joseph Delano is running for Ward 1. Paul Farrow and Richard Jenkins are running for Ward 2. Matt Elder and George Stein are running for Ward 3. Robert Tenera is running for Ward 4. Robert Seymour is running for Ward 5. Edward Clancy is running for Ward 6. Don Landers and Todd Boschman are running for Ward 7. Margaret Dwyer, Catherine Hennessy, and Heidi Matthews are running for Marlborough School Committee. And Joseph Valeriati is running for Assabet Valley School Committee. Superintendent Anthony Pope took the school committee through the major points of a 5-year strategic plan on Tuesday night that will guide the development of city schools for the next 5 years. The school committee took a first look at part of the plan last month, but Pope sent a 59-page draft copy of the entire plan before the meeting. Believe 2016 lays out several measures to work toward 4 specific goals: student achievement, operational effectiveness and efficiency, family and community engagement, and culture. The Student Achievement section aims to eliminate achievement gaps and ensure that all students are challenged with high academic expectations. The school plans to host a forum for parents and residents this coming Tuesday night to comment on the plan. The forum will begin at 7 and will take place at the District Education Center. Committee members stated this week that they may vote to approve the plan as early as their next scheduled meeting on Tuesday, October 25th. To continue with our schools, on Tuesday, September 27th, an AP photography student flew high above Marlborough High School to take photos that will be used for the 2012 yearbook. This was Rachel's first flight in a helicopter, and the yearbook staff is excited to be able to showcase her work that will contribute to this year's theme, which is Enjoy the View.
I'm kind of like an adrenaline junkie, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to go in like a plane or in a helicopter or something. And then it was even more exciting when I found out that I got to do it because I had some of the equipment that would make it a lot easier.
This yearbook project was a collaborative effort between Marlborough Airport, North Andover Flight Academy, the City of Marlborough Department of Public Works, the Marlborough High School staff, Yearbook Club, and AP Art.
Well, this year we really want to bring in the theme of Marlborough into our yearbook, not just Marlborough High School, but the whole city. So we met up with Bob Stetson because we had the idea of maybe getting an aerial view of the high school.
Bob Stetson, owner of Marlborough Airport, was instrumental in working out the details with North Andover Flight Academy, who owns the helicopter.
We have these beautiful views that we took of the school, and the reason behind it is we want the Marlborough High School students not only to go away with the wonderful flavor that Marlborough High School has put on their palate, but also to have the whole city of Marlborough right in the book for them, and different businesses and sites and stories about Marlborough within the book itself.
Mr. Major, Rachel's father, helped map out the layout of the 2012 field design. He helped to bridge all the aspects of the project, which made this shoot possible. The aerial shoot project brought the book's theme to life.
If it's your last year, like you're gonna go away, you're not gonna stay around. If you go to college, you might go out of state, like you're not necessarily gonna remember all the small things that you did when you were in high school until you look at it and you're like, oh, I went there, like I did that. That's how I spent my time when I was in high school.
The theme for the 2012 yearbook is Enjoy the View. The idea is to use this yearbook as a link between the beautiful sights and businesses of the city of Marlborough with the memories of this year's Marlborough High School community.
I really wanted to encourage people to kind of stop and enjoy the little things, and then that turned into enjoying like the school and the community, and also kind of like nature and the environment around us as well.
Within the next couple of months, the yearbook staff will be visiting local businesses and community landmarks to take pictures and solicit support in an effort to make this book a timeless production.
If businesses would like to participate and be part of this project of bridging the school with the community, they can definitely contact me through my email, smattingly@mps-edu.org. It's found right on the Marlborough High School homepage under Teacher Contacts. And we would definitely love to work with the community or civic organizations and incorporate anything they want into our book.
Before we go to break, we just want to let residents know that the Marlborough chapter of MoveOn.org are set to protest this Saturday in conjunction with the Occupy Wall Street groups in New York, Boston, and around the country. Protesters will be holding signs at the intersection of Route 85 and Main Street beginning at 1 p.m. Still to come as we continue with Marlborough This Week, this past Tuesday, the Marlborough Country Club held its first Military Appreciation Day. But first, the Marlborough Board of Health wants you to stay well this winter. A citywide flu clinic will take place this weekend. That story's next. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. A citywide flu clinic will be held this Saturday, October 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Kane Elementary School. We spoke with the city's public health nurse, Nancy Cleary, to find out more about the flu shot this year. Normally, the citywide flu clinic lands in the month of November, but this year it's being held in October for a specific reason.
We try to reach as many people as possible to get the flu vaccine. The more people we reach, obviously, the better protected they are, and also it cuts down on the circulation of the virus.
Anyone can receive the flu shot, but there are specific groups who are at high risk.
The most important categories are children, persons 50 and older, persons who are 19 to 49 with chronic medical problems, and pregnant women.
Some residents should not receive the vaccine. Cleary walked us through those individuals.
If people have a severe allergy to eggs, life-threatening anaphylactic reaction to eggs, they shouldn't get the flu vaccine.
In addition, all of the individuals who have had a problem in the past with the flu vaccine and those who are moderately or severely ill should not receive the flu vaccine.
If a person has an illness, the body is already fighting that illness, and it won't be able to mount an appropriate antibody response.
Residents who receive their flu shot this year will receive the H1N1 strain as well. In addition to the flu shot, the nasal mist is available for all who would like it.
Sometimes little children, maybe 4 years old, they don't like you to put anything in their nose, and that's understandable. So they're a little bit afraid of it sometimes. Little babies, don't know the difference. But the older children definitely like it better.
Even if you receive the vaccine, there's still a chance you could get sick.
No vaccine is 100% effective. Sometimes if people do get the flu, they get a much milder reaction to the flu.
The Marlborough Board of Health and the Marlborough Medical Reserve Corps will sponsor this clinic.
We actually use the flu clinic as a practice in case we have some sort of an outbreak or serious situation, and we use that as a practice for an emergency dispensing clinic.
This year's citywide flu clinic will be held at the Kane Elementary School located at 520 Farm Road. Children younger than 18 years of age must be accompanied by an adult. Please bring your insurance cards, and senior citizens must bring their Medicare B cards. For more information, please contact the Board of Health at 508-460-3751 or visit marlborough-ma.gov. This past Tuesday, the Marlborough Country Club held its first Military Appreciation Day. To honor our military and their families, they were allowed to golf for free. 100% of guest green fees and 50% of all food and golf cart revenues were donated to the Military Soldiers Legacy Fund.
And what it does is it gives college tuition assistance to fallen heroes.
The Military Soldiers Legacy Fund was founded in 2004 with a simple goal: to provide educational assistance grants to the children of Massachusetts military who have lost their lives in the line of duty while deployed.
Military appreciation for everybody who is in the forces. We really appreciate what they're doing. We really gave them a free greens fee for today. We gave them a half discount on the cart for the members that actually donated money towards the cart. So we ended up being half price on the cart, and then we had military families out here and friends, of course, and just trying to make it a great day out here. And as you can see by the weather, it is a great day.
The Marlborough Country Club was looking for an honorable cause to raise money for, and this is what they chose.
We formed a subcommittee of members and board members, and out of all the funds, we chose this one. And we think that it's really a worthy fund, to provide college education for kids who have lost their mom or dad.
The club's goal for the Military Appreciation Day was to raise funds for a worthy military charity and to recognize military personnel and their families for their service and sacrifice to our country.
Sometimes we forget about what actually goes on, and we think about our day-to-day lives and don't think about what's really going on in the world. And what goes on in the world even today is, Afghanistan, Iraq, and everything, and we're blessed to have them helping us out.
2 shotguns were available, one at 8:15 a.m. and one at 1:15 p.m.
We've asked people who bring guests to pay $25, and 100% of that goes towards our donation. We've also offered a buffet lunch, and half of that will go towards the donation as well, so we're hoping to raise money for that fund.
The event is in its first year, and the club welcomed a great turnout.
A turnout, we did over 60 people this morning, which for a Tuesday morning after Columbus Day weekend is really good. And then we have almost 80 people this afternoon, so 140 for the day. It looks like between military, family, friends, you know, it's pretty good. We're pretty happy.
All of those who attended greatly appreciated this event.
I think this is a terrific outcome today. You know, they had a lot of groups here this morning, and there's a good group this afternoon. Maybe in the future we'll have, I can be a part of it also, and maybe we'll have more, maybe it'll catch on.
To continue with the city's fundraising efforts, residents and city employees are encouraged to paint the city pink on Monday in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Residents and city employees are asked to wear pink clothing to raise awareness. Also, all residents can come to City Hall and purchase a $5 pink pin with proceeds going to the Susan G. Komen Passionately Pink for the Cure program. For more information, please call program organizer Carrie Lazat in the building department at 508-460-3769. Coming up, the annual Horribles Parade will take place at the end of this month. We have the details, plus we'll have your pet of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
And now a few Halloween survival tips from WMCT. Tip number 57, remember to wear your seatbelt. Tip number 32, respect your elders. Tip number 77, always dispose of haunted skeletons properly. And finally, tip number 1, lock yourself indoors and watch WMCT's Movie House of Horrors Marathon. We're bringing you the creepy classics as well as the eerily awful. Catch all the horror October 22nd and October 29th at 7 p.m. only on WMCT-TV.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. An event sponsored by the Mayor's Office will welcome families from around the city on Friday, October 28th for trick-or-treating and the annual Horribles Parade. Kids will have an opportunity from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. to trick-or-treat on Main Street. The Horribles Parade will start at the old fire station and go up Main Street and finish at Monument Square. The Marlborough Middle School Band will be leading the parade.
Today we have Kira, and Kira is a very sweet little beagle. She's only 16 months old. She's playful and friendly and has tons of energy, and that actually is the reason why she was given up. Her family felt as though she was too active for them, and so basically it just wasn't a good match. But if she might be a good match for you, you can call us at Buddy Dog. The number is 978-443-6990.
We want to remind all residents that the Haunted House Food Drive that collects items for our local food pantry is going on the whole month of October. The Haunted House takes place at 61 O'Grady Road in Marlborough from 6 to 10 p.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night during this month. All are welcome to attend. And before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now in Marlborough This Week, As the municipal election nears, our local Chamber of Commerce held debates for our 2011 candidates. Gunshots on Park Street caused quite a disturbance early Thursday morning, plus former Patriot players coached some local students about how to eat healthy. And coming up later in this half hour, the annual Horribles Parade is right around the corner. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with the debates that took place this week for our 2011 municipal election candidates. Residents got a chance to hear from mayoral and councillor-large candidates on Wednesday night. The Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce hosted the councillor-large debate at 6 p.m. and the mayoral debate at 7 p.m. in the District Education Center located at 17 Washington Street. Arthur Vigent is taking on Matt Jones for mayor. Paul Broder, Joseph Collins, Mark Evangelis, Aaron Ferrecchia, Mark Orem, Michael Ossing, Patricia Pope, and Kathleen Roby are running for 4 council-at-large seats. On Thursday night, the Chamber hosted a third debate for the contested ward council races at 6 p.m. at the District Education Center as well. Incumbent Paul Farrow faced off against Richard Jenkins in Ward 2, incumbent Matt Elder took on George Stein in Ward 3, and incumbent Donald Landers faced off against Todd Boschman in Ward 7. Each of the debates ran for about an hour. You can see all the debates in their entirety right here on WMCT-TV. Check out our website at WMCT-TV.com for playtimes. The election is scheduled for Tuesday, November 1st. City Clerk Lisa Thomas announced this week that absentee ballots printed for Ward 4 voters included an incorrect designation for Ward 4 City Councilor candidate Robert Tenera. She spoke with us on Tuesday to tell us more.
It has come to my attention that Councillor Tenera, who is a candidate for re-election for Ward 4 Councillor, was mistakenly listed on the absentee ballots as a veteran. This was a reprint on the Ward 4 absentee ballots. The regular ballots will be corrected and not have the title of veteran listed for Councillor Tenera. The mistaken veteran status occurred between the city clerk's office and the company that prints our ballots, and Councillor Tenera was not involved with this error.
Around 2 a.m. Thursday morning, Marlborough police responded to a disturbance call about a person who had a knife at 44 Park Street. The suspect, Rommel Silva, first waved a knife at a group of people in the Park Street apartment building where he lives, and later went upstairs and fired a shot at 2 people smoking on a balcony. No one was killed, but one victim was hurt as he tried to escape by jumping off a porch. The victim was taken to UMass Worcester for evaluation. Silva was arraigned on Thursday in Marlborough District Court, where Judge Sarah Singer ordered him held without bail until a hearing next Wednesday. On a more positive note, the school department held its first parent-community forum of the school year on Tuesday night. The purpose of the forum was to review and discuss the district's new 5-year plan, which is called Believe 2016. To read the draft plan, please visit mps-edu.org. You can also see the program in its entirety. Just check out our website at WMCT-TV.com for playtimes. Former Patriot players, Assabet Valley High School students, and volunteers learned to cook a nutritious meal with the Patriots' executive chef as part of the organization's week-long focus on healthy eating and nutrition. It was an exciting and eye-opening experience for all involved in regards to nutrition, volunteering, and leadership. It wasn't an ordinary morning at Assabet Valley High School on Tuesday as former Patriot players stopped by for a visit. But it wasn't just any visit. It was to talk to students about eating healthy and to highlight why it's important to be a volunteer and a positive leader in their lives.
The Patriots have launched this campaign, and each week throughout the season we are featuring a different theme. We've had a theme of education, of mentoring, and this week we are focusing on healthy eating and nutrition.
The foundation's primary goal is to support programs that aid the youth and families. Patriot Executive Chef Brad Ozerdem, along with Max Lane and Patrick Pass, showed 21 lucky students the importance of healthy eating.
I love the exuberance. The kids are impressive, they're polite, they have a bit of professionalism about them. The facility's fantastic, it's well equipped, it's so clean, You can tell that they have really good values here.
The foundation's support comes in the form of direct grants and the donation of signed memorabilia to a variety of charitable causes, and from Patriot players who offer their direct support by appearing at charity functions throughout the year.
I just love being around kids in general, because I know once before I was a kid in their shoes, and I used to love to see like guys come to talk to us as a kid, and it was something that I loved doing. Now that I'm older and I'm retired from football, I just love to get back to the community.
The 21 students at the event were part of a leadership class at the school that received grant money from the Play 60 program, creating a grab-and-go food cart that they staff 2 mornings a week, offering healthy items for classmates. Pass, who played in all 3 of the Patriots Super Bowl champion teams, told kids to avoid fast food because it causes sluggishness.
When I played football, they always stress about eating healthy, because you want to get a lot of proteins to fuel your body to go out to be able to play a 3-hour game.
Paz says he hopes he inspired some kids to eat healthy, as well as promoting the spirit of volunteerism. The foundation has also been honoring community volunteers as part of an initiative created to honor its late president and director, Myra Kraft, who died in July after a lengthy battle with cancer. The wife of team owner Robert Kraft was widely recognized as one of New England's most generous volunteers. Patriot alumni recognized the Patriots Difference Maker of the Week, Cheryl Phillips, with an honorary medal and autographed football.
And we are so happy to select Cheryl as our recipient this week. She has just demonstrated an unbelievable commitment to giving back to the community and has been an outstanding volunteer for the school.
Phillips has been an intern at Assabet Valley and has helped the school attain the grant funding for the grab-and-go breakfast.
It really sends such a positive message to students and to children, because, you know, parents can tell them to their blue in the face, you got to eat this is what you're supposed to eat, this is right, but to have somebody like the Patriots players come out and say it's important to them, that sends a really strong message to kids.
Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, the first woman ever to be the superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police spoke to the city's Women's Business Council. But first, the Elder Community Collaborative had their second annual breakfast discussion this week. That story's next. Please stay with us.
And now a few Halloween survival tips from WMCT. Tip number 57, remember to wear your seatbelt. Tip number 32, respect your elders. Tip number 77, always dispose of haunted skeletons properly. And finally, tip number 1, lock yourself indoors and watch WMCT's Movie House of Horrors Marathon. We're bringing you the creepy classics as well as the eerily awful. Catch all the horror October 22nd and October 29th at 7 p.m. only on WMCT-TV.
Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. The Elder Community Collaborative met this week at the Marlborough Hospital for a breakfast discussion. They discussed how to fulfill their mission, which is to improve the quality of life and care for our community elders through the communication and collaboration of care providers. Local senior care providers came together on Wednesday morning to talk further about what needs need to be addressed in the community when it comes to the senior population.
Today we're asking these people to come and tell us what issues they're facing in the community that perhaps we could respond to by coming up with another program or another tool that would make their job easier and would make everything safer and easier for the seniors.
This is the second annual breakfast discussion, and so far, those involved appreciate this opportunity.
We want to know specifically what could we do to help you. So whether you work in the hospital or the ambulance or the police or in a ministry, we'd want your input.
The annual breakfast discussion continues the conversation from the previous year about new ideas and concerns that the partaking individuals may have.
It's really going to be an open forum. We're going to have Dr. Ricard, who was one of the original founders of the Elder Community Collaborative tell the visitors about the program itself. We're having Janice Long from the Hudson Senior Center and Jennifer Claro from the Marlborough Senior Center open it up with some of the aspects that they would like addressed.
The File of Life, which was created by the individuals in the Elder Community Collaborative, is a list of important information about a person which they can put on their fridge and have available in case of an emergency.
Laughingly, we asked them to fill it out in pencil because sometimes medications change or information changes, and then that way it'll be easier for them to keep it current.
Ryan expressed to us that they are always looking to help more people, so if there's anyone looking to be part of this group, there's always room for more.
If we haven't reached out to anybody in the community who does deal with seniors, it certainly would love to have you contact us. You can do so through the Marlborough Senior Center or through the Hudson Senior Center. We'd love to give you the information about it, and we'd love to have your feedback.
Speaking of our senior community, the Senior Center has scheduled a meeting to discuss information with city officials about the possibility of a new facility. The meeting is scheduled for this coming Wednesday, October 26th at 5 p.m. at 250 Main Street. For more information, please call 508-485-6492. This month, Colonel Marion McGovern, Superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police, was the guest speaker at the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce's Women's Business Council. McGovern is the first woman to ever be the superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police.
People say, well, you must have been hard being one of the first women. And I said, no, it wasn't, because I was very naive and I didn't know any better. And that's the truth.
Colonel Marion McGovern is a 30-year veteran and superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police.
My mother always said that hard work never killed anyone. So I'm still here alive to tell you that. So
she began her career in the western part of the state at the Northampton Barracks, where she performed all the functions of a road trooper. She transferred to the Holden Barracks, which brought her closer to home and closer to her passion of teaching.
Every step of the way was a step that I earned towards getting this, and it was never a dream of mine. This was never something that when I became a trooper, and when I became a sergeant, when I became a lieutenant, that I ever thought I would be the colonel.
On December 10, 2009, Governor Deval Patrick named Marion McGovern the head of the Massachusetts State Police.
Much was made, understandably, of the fact that I was a woman. I think for a woman to command that type of a leadership role in law enforcement was very unusual. There wasn't another colonel across the country that was a female. So there was a lot of attention put on the role of a female being the colonel of the state police.
Colonel McGovern has been involved in training for not only department members, but members of state, local, and federal law enforcement agencies, as well as numerous agencies and departments in the state and others as well.
When I go to work every day, as I have through my 32 years, I never focus on the fact that I was a woman. I know that there were a lot of challenges early on in my career, but I expected that.
Many accomplishments stand out to McGovern that have occurred over the years, but one stands out in particular.
I was instrumental in bringing the Amber Alert program here to Massachusetts. Through my work in child abuse, I had heard about it. I said, are you kidding me? This makes more sense than anything I've ever heard in my life. It works. Our program is 100% foolproof. It has worked every single time. And that's not because of us, that's not because of law enforcement, it's because of you.
McGovern stated in her speech that she loves to go out into the community and inspire women of all ages to go after their dreams and have passion in their lives.
To be up here speaking to you today as the colonel is just the culmination of just many great people in my life that have helped me along the way, and many great events that have catapulted me to this. A little bit of luck, a little bit in the right place at the right time, but also the biggest part of it was a lot of hard work.
Coming up, the annual Horribles Parade is happening next week. We have the details, plus we'll have your Pet of the Week. Don't move. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Marlborough This Week. An event sponsored by the Mayor's Office will welcome families from around the city next Friday, October 28th for trick-or-treating in the annual Horribles Parade. Kids will have an opportunity from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. to trick-or-treat on Main Street, followed by the parade, which will start at the old fire station and go up Main Street and finish at Monument Square.
Today we have Sydney, and Sydney is named for the hair salon that we found him living in the bushes next to. So he was outside in the rain and he was all alone, and so we had to trap him. But he was very, very, very friendly, and you can see that he's very gentle and loves to be patted. And he's about 10 weeks old, and he gets along with other kittens and he purrs all the time. And we actually did find his brothers and his mom living in the woods as well. So we have them here now too, and pretty soon they'll be ready for adoption. So if you'd like to know more about Sydney or any of the other kitties that we have here at Buddy Dog, please feel free to call us at 978-443-6990.
We want to remind all residents that the Haunted House food drive that collects items for the food pantry will be ending next weekend. The Haunted House takes place at 61 O'Grady Road in Marlborough from 6 to 10 p.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night during the month of October. All are welcome to attend, and don't forget your item for the food pantry. And before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week. Coming up right now in Marlborough This Week, the 2011 municipal election will take place this Tuesday, November 1st. We have the list of candidates, voting information, and more. The Marlborough Police Department is warning residents about a television scam. Plus, our city seniors have specific needs and wishes for a new senior center, and they told our city councilors all about it. Those stories and more are coming up right now on Marlborough This Week. Welcome to Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Let's begin with this week's top story.
This candidates forum between the two candidates for the office of Mayor of Marlborough.
With the election coming up on Tuesday, Marlborough mayoral candidates shared their ideas during a forum in Framingham on Tuesday, hosted by the Metro West Daily News. Arthur Vigent continued to underscore his long service on the City Council, while his opponent, Matt Jones, emphasized his own ability to work collaboratively. Jones continued to emphasize his collaborating skills and said education, business development, and services for seniors remain his top priorities. Vigent spoke of his track record in the 18 years he spent in the council, 9 of them as president, and says he's looking forward to taking his involvement in the city to the next step. The forum will be shown right here on WMCT-TV leading up to Tuesday's election. Please check our website at WMCT-TV.com for playtimes. In addition to the two mayoral candidates, there are other races. Here are your candidates for the 2011 municipal election. Arthur Vigent and Matthew Jones are running for mayor. Michael Ossing, Patricia Pope, Paul Broder, Joseph Collins, Mark Evangelos, Aaron Ferrecchia, Mark Orem, and Kathleen Roby are running for councilor at large. Joseph Delano is running for Ward 1. Paul Farrow and Richard Jenkins are running for Ward 2. Matthew Elder and George Stein are running for Ward 3. Robert Chinera is running for Ward 4. Robert Seymour is running for Ward 5. Edward Clancy is running for Ward 6. Don Landers and Todd Boschman are running for Ward 7. Margaret Dwyer, Catherine Hennessy, and Heidi Matthews are running for the school committee. Joseph Valiurati is running for Assabet Valley School Committee. Polling locations for this Tuesday, November 1st, is as follows. Wards 1 and 2, Precincts 1 and 2 will take place at the Kane School at 520 Farm Road. Ward 3, Precinct 1 will take place at the Masonic Hall at 8 Newton Street. Ward 3, Precinct 2 will take place at the Richer School at 80 Foley Road. Ward 4, Precincts 1 and 2 will take place at the Boys and Girls Club at 169 Pleasant Street. Ward 5, Precinct 1 will take place at the Senior Center at 250 Main Street. Ward 5, Precinct 2 will take place at the Masonic Hall at 8 Newton Street. Ward 6, Precincts 1 and 2 will take place at the Whitcomb School at 25 Union Street, and Ward 7, Precincts 1 and 2 will take place at the Hildreth School at 85 Sawin Street. The polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The last day and hour to apply for an absentee ballot will be this Monday, October 31st at noon. For any additional information, please contact the City Clerk's office at 508-460-3775. The Marlborough Police sent out a warning on Monday cautioning residents to avoid a scam that has trapped several people over the last few months. Police said calls have been going out to residents about flat-screen televisions for sale outside the Sears department store at the Solomon Pond Mall. Police ask residents to be on the lookout for the possibility of scams and caution that a deal looking too good to be true is an indicator that it could be a scam. City Council President Arthur Vigent hosted an open house at the proposed site for a new senior center for the City of Marlborough on Tuesday night. The event was held at the West Meeting House at 86 Pleasant Street. The 12,000 square foot historic building is situated in the city's French Hill neighborhood. Seniors looked around the old Pleasant Street Meeting House on Tuesday afternoon. Building owner Jonathan Danforth spoke with us regarding the history of the property.
About 189 years ago it was built by a group of people. It took many years to build, and although it doesn't have a steeple anymore, it had a very, very proud steeple that sat at one of the highest points in Marlborough, French Hill.
Danforth has owned the building for 12 years.
When I bought it, it had been converted from a Unitarian church, where it took over after it was a meeting house for 100 years, and it was converted into office space.
The building has 12,900 square feet and includes 41 offices and 12 bathrooms. His asking price is $950,000.
I've been out of the state for a couple of years working, and I'm back in Massachusetts. Very much hopeful that we bring back, light this building up again, bring in some people, fill the parking lots up with some new entity, hopefully here in Marlborough. Whether the city uses it or someone else uses it, we're looking to do everything we can to bring it back to life again.
When it comes to selling the building, Danforth is looking for someone to refurbish the building, not tear it down.
There was an offer by a major drugstore chain to come and buy the building, but of course they were going to raise the building and put a drugstore here. I said no. It's a National Historic building. It's a very proud landmark here in Marlborough, and we want it to light up again as it's been turned off and closed off for a couple of years.
As far as a senior center coming into this building, Danforth thinks it would be a great idea.
I have a dear place in my heart for senior citizens, and I will tell you, if anyone would make good use of this, it would be senior citizens.
The building is fully handicap accessible with an elevator that reaches each of its 3 floors. It also has 7 entrances on the first floor.
I feel that it would be a perfect place for a senior center because we have, as you can see here behind me, open space. We have many offices, we have many bathrooms. It would work very well for senior center as well as some additional space.
The discussion continued on Wednesday night as concerned senior citizens and members of the City Council met at the current senior center on Main Street to discuss what they would like for a new senior center.
I think we got to be careful and make sure we have one that's large enough so that it can accommodate many people and not just a few people.
The Council on Aging Wednesday night presented its wish list highlighting several features it would like to see in a new senior center.
The purpose of the meeting was to tell the council and the mayor exactly what we want
and in detailed terms so that they can take that information and see what we need and what it's going to cost. Not just to refurbish something or refurbish a building, but refurbish it to what our specs are.
Chairman of the Board of Directors, James Confrey, says the council needs a building with at least 14,000 square feet, sufficient office space, and lots of room for activities.
Well, if you walked around this senior center, which is nothing, everything was crammed in together. Like the library is right next door to the outreach office and the Shine office, and so it's embarrassing when you go to other senior centers and come back here. That's why a lot of people stay away from here.
He said a new facility would need 70 to 100 parking spots, a covered drop-off area with an entrance hall, and van parking. On the inside, Comfrey says seniors are hoping for a reception desk, coffee, snack bar, and a gift shop. The wish list also calls for an exercise area with 2 fitness rooms, a gym with exercise equipment, men and women's bathrooms, 1 or 2 shower stalls, and a central waiting area. Personally, Comfrey stated that he would like to see more programs geared toward the male population.
Right now, men come down here and they say, okay, honey, you can stay and do your thing, but there's nothing here for me. And that's what the biggest thing I noticed when I first got here.
The Council on Aging compiled the list following a meeting in August to get opinions from seniors and board members.
I think we need a new senior center because we are many more seniors now. And this place, we've outgrown this place here. And I think it'd be better to have a senior center away from housing so that they could have the space for themselves.
The current senior center at 250 Main Street features a function room, small activity room, and a makeshift library.
We're operating just out of 2 rooms, and it's very hard to accommodate all the different programs that we would like to provide here. And we're always having to shift classes, sometimes in a hallway or in a lobby area. Just to try to accommodate the needs of our seniors.
Seniors are stating that they have outgrown the current facility and need a new home to accommodate a growing senior population.
We have 1 handicap accessible spot, and our seniors have to park in a parking lot. It's a nice walk, and if it's snowing or there's ice or it's raining, it's very dangerous. It's uneven surface. And it's just a nice distance from the senior center. And we have individuals who are coming in with walkers or wheelchairs, and it can make someone change their mind if they want to come to the senior center for the day or not.
City Council President Arthur Vigent, who proposed the Old West Meeting House at 86 Pleasant Street as a potential site for a new senior center, said he was glad to hear the wish list.
We're excited about it. The entire council is excited about it. Can't wait to get working on it.
In conclusion, seniors are happy to see the project finally getting some attention.
But we have to stay on top of it and don't let it slide.
With thousands jobless across the state, Lieutenant Governor Timothy Murray stressed the investment in transportation to attract businesses and create jobs at a Chamber of Commerce breakfast that took place last week. Here's more on this story.
One thing that I know that our administration has focused on and understood from day one is that many of our cities drive the regional economies, and I think much the same, and without a doubt, Marlborough is an example of that. So
Lieutenant Governor Timothy Murray spoke to members of the Marlborough Regional Chamber of Commerce last Friday morning about improving rail service, which would be attractive to companies looking to move into the state. Murray stated that Interstate 495's effect on creating jobs in Marlborough alone has been significant.
Just imagine if 495 wasn't there. Where would Marlborough be? So in every community, in every region of the state, there are major transportation assets that we need to continue to invest in and support. And there are others that we need to strategically expand upon.
The state currently spends about $1 billion in transportation each year, putting 30,000 people to work in the state.
Overwhelming majority of those in the private sector. And we're also seeing, because companies are hungry for the work, many of these projects are coming in below bid. which is good for taxpayers as well. And this isn't make busy work. It's work that needs to be done because there has been neglect of our transportation infrastructure over the years. And it is that enabling network, that transportation infrastructure, that allows people to move goods and materials from point A to point B. It allows the workforce to get where it needs to be. It allows people to have opportunities and cross-pollinate where they live, work, and seek an education.
Murray also touched upon our schools. He stated that with the continued growth of careers in life science schools, colleges need to focus on math, science, and technology to help students flourish.
We are moving aggressively. We've identified goals and objectives. If we could just move by a few percentage points, the number of students in our state colleges and universities and community colleges who go in with the intention of being a STEM major, if we can just retain them, rather than keep them focused on that STEM so they graduate it rather than transferring to other majors, we can significantly increase the people graduating with STEM degrees and meeting the needs of our workforce.
The state rose from 44th in the country in life science jobs in 2006 to 11th in 2011.
I think a significant improvement that can be traced directly to the investments that we are making, the strategic partnerships we are making with the business community on so many fronts and in so many regions across the state.
Then it was on to unemployment. Murray stated that while the unemployment rate has gone down recently, the state still has work to do.
Unemployment rate going down doesn't mean anything to somebody who is not working or underemployed.
Still to come as we continue with Marlborough this week, we have details about a Scouting for Food campaign, but first, the Fort Meadow Reservoir will be drawn down starting Tuesday. We have details thanks to the city's conservation officer. That story's next. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Marlborough this week. The city is about to begin a drawdown of the Fort Meadow Reservoir, which will result in a 4-foot drop. The process will begin this coming Tuesday, November 1st. We spoke with Conservation Officer Priscilla Ryder to find out more. A drawdown of the Fort Meadow Reservoir will aim to get rid of invasive species and allow residents and city employees to do much-needed work. Marlborough Conservation Officer Priscilla Ryder says the outlet for the lake will be lowered a few inches every day to prevent residents downstream from being flooded. The entire process should take 15 to 20 days, depending on the weather. The Fort Meadow Commission says the drawdown is being done this year for 4 reasons. First is weed control. Ryder said that an herbicide treatment over the summer was effective in removing many of the weeds, but said drawing down the reservoir is a good way to supplement that treatment. The second reason for the drawdown is to combat another invasive species, the Asian clam.
The drawdown does seem to help control their spread, so that's another reason, and it's sort of experimental because we're on the northern end of the range, so we're trying to figure out how to control them better, and so that seems to have worked in the past.
The drawdown will also allow Marlborough Department of Public Works employees to inspect street drainage pipes that enter the lake to remove sand.
We have a lot of drains, about 18 drains from the street that drain into the lake, and every time it snows and we sand it, that sand goes into the lake as well.
Any resident who notices a potential problem area can call Tom Temple, the DPW Assistant Commissioner of Operations, at 508-624-6910, extension 7200. Finally, the drawdown will allow lake residents to do minor repairs to walls around the lake or add sand to beaches.
We're encouraging people to fix their docks and their walls at this point. This is the time to do that kind of construction. They do need a permit from the Conservation Commission, both in Hudson and in Marlborough, so if they want to do that kind of work, they should contact both the commissions for that.
The refilling of the lake is scheduled to begin on March 1st, 2012. Residents are asked to remove their docks from the water for the winter, as there may be still some ice on the lake when it's refilled, which could damage the docks. Another event that happens each and every year is the annual Scouting for Food campaign. The campaign will kick off this Saturday, October 29th, and the Scouts are hoping that all residents will help out in this effort to collect goods for our local food pantry. During the day on Saturday, October 29th, Marlborough Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Brownie Troops, and PACs will distribute the familiar tan bags throughout the city in hopes of attaining at least one item per household for the food pantry. Price Chopper Supermarkets will once again sponsor the collection bags. Pickup will be Saturday, November 5th, starting at 10 a.m.
We try to get to every residential area in town. The fact there's only so many Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, Brownies and Girl Scouts. We do get to as many houses as possible. We ask, just whatever you can, be it 1 can, 2 cans, whatever you can spare is greatly appreciated.
The Scouts and event leaders are asking you to please leave your donations outside your home early for easy pickup.
Historically, Scouting for Food is usually the single largest donation that the food pantry receives. And it's heavily relied on, particularly this time of the year. It's November, we're going into the holidays, and after coming through the summer, there are usually a lot of bare shelves, and this is a really great way to get them stocked up to hopefully get them through the better part of the winter.
As mentioned, all food donations will benefit the Marlborough Food Pantry, which has seen a 16% increase in need.
These certainly have been challenging times for our food pantry. Our numbers are up. I think that we are experiencing in our small little pantry what the economy is experiencing in our state and in our country in general. So this is always a good a good test for what's happening elsewhere.
Suggested items include canned vegetables, dry goods, canned spaghetti sauces, juice boxes, coffee, tea, and diapers, baby food, and toiletries. This year, the Scouts' goal is 11 tons. Last year, they collected 10 tons.
Kind of teaches the boys and girls kind of some citizenship, and also the fact that there are people out there, even in their own community, that may be having a tough time, may be struggling. It could be friends, neighbors, someone in school. They may never know who that person is.
If you don't receive a donation bag, please feel free to call Jim Watson at 508-662-1617 and leave a message. This is the 24th year of the annual campaign. We'd like to remind all residents that the Haunted House food drive that will collect items for the food pantry that's been going on the whole month of October will be ending this weekend. The Haunted House will take place at 61 O'Grady Road in Marlborough from 6 to 10 p.m. this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. All are welcome to attend, and don't forget your item for the food pantry. Coming up next, we'll have your pet of the week. Don't move. We'll be right back.
And now a few Halloween survival tips from WMCT. Tip number 57, remember to wear your seatbelt. Tip number 32, respect your elders. Tip number 77, always dispose of haunted skeletons properly. And finally, tip number 1, lock yourself indoors and watch WMCT's Movie House of Horrors Marathon. We're bringing you the creepy classics as well as the eerily awful. Catch all the horror October 22nd and October 29th at 7 p.m. only on WMCT-TV.
Today we have Lola, and Lola is an Old English Bulldog, which means that she's a little bit taller than the typical bulldog that you're used to seeing. She has a wonderful, wonderful personality. She's gentle and sweet. She seems good with other dogs, but like a lot of purebred dogs, she does have some health issues. She's been being treated for a skin infection, and she looks wonderful, believe it or not, compared to what she looked like when she came in. She's also going to have some surgery on her eyes because she has something called entropion, which means her eyelashes turn inward instead of outward. That's a very, very expensive surgery that Buddy Dog will be doing for her. So if you want to know more about Lola, or if you'd like to even contribute to her surgery, please feel free to call us at Buddy Dog. The number is 978-443-6990.
And before we go, don't forget that you can find all the information you need on our Facebook page. Just search WMCT-TV and become a fan. That's going to do it for this edition of Marlborough This Week. I'm Kristen Doucette. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.